What do you think are a couple of the main reasons why this is definitely sort of not a kind of a hoax, or filmed in a studio?
May I first of all recommend a website to you, which is badastronomy.com. And this is run by a very educated American called Phil Platt, and he lists a lot of the different things that people believe about space, the universe, space flight, etc., which are simply rubbish. You can see the Great Wall of China from the moon, can't you? Of course you can't, it's rubbish. But people just recycle these myths because they can, and with the information boom that there's been in the last, say, 20, 30 years, such things get passed around much more frequently, much more readily, and they're seen more often. So if you invent a myth, then a million people can see it within seconds.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening, I think. Such things are being broadcast. I mean, there are lots of reasons why people think that this moon landing was a hoax, but if you look at it really, I don't think they know a lot about photography and science, and they just get it wrong.
Yeah.
There are no stars in the sky in the moon landing photos. They must be in a studio. No, those photos are taken with a Hasselblad camera at about 1,000th of a second exposure, and you won't get stars. They're not bright enough to show. If you just point a camera at the sky and go clip, you won't get any stars. They're not bright enough. If you do a 10-minute exposure, you get thousands of stars.
Yeah.
And the shadows are so black on the moon, it must be a studio floodlight. No, it's because the moon hasn't got an atmosphere. And in a vacuum, shadows look very black indeed. On Earth, shadows look sort of slightly grey because there's air intervening. And
yeah, I see. So on the moon,
there's a lot of science there that people just don't bring in. They don't bring that into the argument.
Yeah.
They don't really know the... another thing too, there were 6 moon missions that successfully landed. One of them, Apollo 13, as we know, didn't and had to come back. And you can fool me once, but you're going to fool me 6 times.
Yeah.
And thousands and thousands and thousands of people worked on the American space effort and on the Apollo moon landing program.
Yeah.
Not one of them has ever been to a tabloid newspaper and said, "Give me $1 million and I'll tell you all about how they faked it."
Yeah.
I think somebody would have, don't you?
Yeah.